Yeah.
It's George.
It's Elaine.
Come on up.
Hey, Vinny, listen.
I never heard anything like this in my life. Listen to this.
This is exciting! This is exciting! Huh? Did I miss anything already?
Kramer, get in.
Where's the crazy man?
Hey! Sit down. Come on, it's about to start.
And welcome to Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. This is Matt.
This is Vinny.
How you doing?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Reading this article that a lot of our listeners sent to us via email and Facebook and Twitter about some Rutgers professor. Help me out here. I can't read.
Man's a genius. No, they're doing case studies on Seinfeld characters and each of the disorders that all of these wonderful people possess
on the show. So I guess the deal is the professor will have his students watch an episode during the reruns, right? Like from 6 to 8.
Yeah.
And then report on what like
they discuss what's going on in the week. George's narcissism, his obsessive compulsive disorder, Jerry's fastidious nature. But where was this when we were in college? Because I would have signed up for this class lickety split.
Yeah, and also I think the closest thing we had to taking like a kind of like a legitimate examination on Seinfeld and the characters is that book Philosophy in Seinfeld or Seinfeld and Philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not psychology, but God, yeah, I would love to take this class. You know, Rutgers isn't too far away from where I live. I could just pop in.
Pass fail.
Yeah.
Or no, not pass fail. What is it? When you audit the class?
Audit? I was just going to sit in the back of the room, just like listen to them and be like, yeah, I agree.
Excuse me,
interesting.
sir.
Yeah, totally. So if we weren't clear enough, I'll include this article in our show notes here about a Rutgers professor who is using Seinfeld as a learning tool in his classroom, which is just so cool.
You know how people get ahead in this world? Ideas like this.
You bet. So Vinny, what episode are we discussing this week?
The 10th episode of Season 3, The Alternate Side, written by our favorite Larry David, along with Bill Masters, directed by Tom Sharonis, and airing December 4th, 1991.
We're doing like very like radio voices this week.
Yes.
Oh,
Enunciation.
Well, the morning Zoom. Yeah. I'll turn on my mumbling charm and
Bring it back down.
I'm really good at like I can slur 4 or 5 words all into one word. Mm-hmm. It's really cool. Anyways, everyone who is new to this show, Vinny and I follow the episode order in our DVDs, which might contradict air date order or most online guides. So if you haven't already, come on, pick up the show. If you've been listening to the show from the beginning, you've listened to so many of these. You're getting the episodes somehow. You might as well give a little back.
And aren't you sick of Matt's spiel every week of we're following the DVDs order, which might contradict? Aren't you sick of that? I'm sick of it.
Well, I'm sick of saying it. So yeah, pick up the DVDs already. And I won't have to say this anymore. Vinny, you mentioned a man by the name of Bill Masters earlier. He was a co-writer with Larry David for this episode. Similar to a writer that we brought up, a week or two ago, Bob Shaw.
Yeah.
Bill Masters was also a fellow stand-up comedian and a friend of Larry David's, and Jerry Seinfeld for that matter, who they knew, through the nightclub circuit. Masters joined the Seinfeld team this season, and I didn't know this, but he actually comes back for 2 more episodes. He helped co-write the movie, and he helped co-write The Chaperone. So,
those are 2 good eps.
Yeah, 2 very good eps. I'm a huge fan of the movie, so can't wait for that one. I have other little bits of trivia here. Woody Allen features heavily in this week's episode, not the real Woody Allen, just the name Woody Allen. I know Larry David was in that movie, Whatever Works, that Woody Allen made a couple of years ago. Did you ever see that?
No, and I've always wanted to.
Yeah, me too. I'm a big Woody Allen fan, but I by no means have seen all of his movies. Case in point, I've never seen Radio Days from '87 or New York Stories from 1989, but Larry David is in both of those movies.
You don't say.
Yes, I think it's kind of like a cameo, like a brief appearance. It's nothing like, a central character, like in Whatever Works.
This needs to be watched now.
Yes. I would argue that this episode has not the first Seinfeld like catchphrase, but one of the more popular catchphrases.
It's one that the diehard fan will absolutely know, and the casual fan, if not just a casual observer or one that, Seinfeld, that show, I've heard of that before, Mm-hmm. And it spawned a Rhodes Gold endorsement deal with Jason Alexander.
Really? Was this the episode that sparked that?
I would imagine that they saw the episode and then they said, "Hey, let's throw this idiot in front of the camera and may I have one of those, madam?"
Right, and I think in Seinfeld episodes, Jason would actually have the rolled. Is it
Yes.
Rhodes Gold or just
Rhodes Gold?
Rhodes Gold. He would actually have it facing the camera, right? So you would always get a nice shot of that label. This episode, at least up until this point for this season, Seinfeld was known for having a 9:30 time slot on Wednesdays. This is the first episode of this season that they actually were trying a different time slot. They tried 9 o'clock, which I kind of feel Seinfeld locked in time. Of course, they moved to must-see Thursdays, but I always think of Seinfeld airing at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that's the time.
Whether on a Wednesday or Thursday. But they tested it out with this episode, and it went really well. After they aired this episode, they had a repeat or a rerun of The Chinese Restaurant. And both episodes scored, great numbers, fantastic ratings. And yeah, from this point on, Seinfeld had that 9 o'clock time slot locked in. Now, I want to move on to something before we talk about the episode proper that is one of, I think, the most interesting bits of trivia about this episode. And it wasn't something we had to dig very hard for. It's I don't want to say common knowledge, but it's very recent.
It's out there.
News. Yeah. This is apparently Jerry Seinfeld's least favorite episode out of all of them that they made.
Does that blow your mind?
Kind of. Do you remember when this came out? I think it was like a year ago or so.
No, I actually don't.
You don't. I mean, it wasn't like national headlines like
Read all about it. Jerry Seinfeld hates episode.
The reason I'm so interested in why this is his least favorite episode is because this is personally one of my favorite episodes. Mm-hmm. This episode is one of the Seinfeld episodes that got me into the show.
Yeah.
This episode and The Boyfriend, actually, which we'll be covering in a couple of weeks. Those two episodes, regardless of what most people think of them, just have like a special place in my heart to the point where it's kind of hard for me to be critical of them because I just like them so much.
Yeah.
But reading Jerry's comments, and actually we have a clip here of him saying why he doesn't like this episode.
Yeah. What was your least favorite Seinfeld episode?
I still had trouble. There was one where a guy had a stroke, and we were feeding him on the couch. And it was an older guy, and we were feeding him on the couch, and I felt very uncomfortable with that episode.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was weird. The guy, he was in a wheelchair, and
Oy.
it was uncomfortable.
All right.
So, thoughts?
I don't buy it.
You don't buy that? You don't think he hates that episode?
No. I get that he doesn't like it, but like you said, it's still a great episode, and the awkwardness, the uncomfortable feelings that he had make for it being a very funny scene.
Right.
I got to say though, we haven't gotten even into the episode yet, but when Elaine is feeding him in his wheelchair post stroke, that's a little real, So I get how I kind of see where he's coming from being uncomfortable, but it's still a wonderful episode. And I still recall, if you listen to, I always plug, I'm telling you for the last time, so bear with me. People ask him, what was your favorite episode of Seinfeld? And he doesn't have an answer. And he says each one of them were like his babies, and he did the best with each one that he could. And also that they're like breaths of air. And it's like asking somebody, what's your favorite breath of air? You can't choose one. Mm-hmm. So that always sticks out in my head as him loving each episode equally. So when I hear that, it kind of jars that notion that I have in my head. But having said that, I could see where he's coming from.
It's tough too, because when you ask, what's your favorite episode or what's your least favorite episode, your opinion is going to change, and it's okay
depending on the day.
Yeah, and it's okay if your feelings change over time, like maybe as you get older, or maybe specifically, let's talk about the alternate side. If maybe this episode is okay, but then you might have a family member who has a stroke, and all of a sudden you look at it in a new light, and you don't think it's funny. In fact, you're insulted by it.
Yeah.
Anything can change, and I feel like Jerry didn't really know what to say.
He hesitated.
Yeah,
and he had to kind of stumble and pick one.
Yeah, like, oh, okay, I'll pick the episode that maybe I didn't think was a home run and might have had some dark humor to it that stood out above the rest. So, yeah, I wouldn't hold this against like Seinfeld. Like, you said this is the worst episode.
You son of a bitch.
But I can totally see why people don't like this episode. On the topic of least favorite episode, I want to throw that out to our listeners. What is your least favorite episode? What's the episode you either can't stand or you're offended by? We know Jason Alexander hates the Briss episode for personal reasons.
Yeah.
Someone I met a couple of years ago, he made me guess what his least favorite episode was. He's like, come on, it's the worst episode of Seinfeld. And I was like picking his brain for a long time. I'm throwing out a lot of episodes, and I never got it. It was the barber is his least favorite episode, which...
Well, the barber's a good one.
He explained why. Like, I understand what he didn't like about the episode, but yeah, that never jumped to my mind as the worst episode.
Different strokes.
Yeah. We're actually coming up to I don't think I have a least favorite episode, but one of my least favorite episodes.
Ooh, stay tuned, everybody.
Coming up next week. So
one other thing that stuck out to me in that clip, it actually reminded me of our interview with Peter Millman. These guys treat it more like it was a job versus this obsession that we have.
No,
and
you don't say.
Get out. But the way he describes it, he's like, yeah, there was one where a guy had a stroke, and even the interviewer is like, I don't even remember that one. But to us, it's like, oh yeah, the alternate side. Owen March had a stroke. Cookies don't liquefy. I just
and it's
find
he's not in the wheelchair at that time. I wanted to correct him as
completely different scene, but that really stuck out to me. And even when we were speaking with Peter Mellman, he's like, yeah, I remember there was one where we were doing, and they speak very vaguely because they had to churn out 180 of these shows, and they could only be invested in this idea and this production and the show for 1 week. And then they had to move on to the next thing. And most of them will even say they haven't seen an episode in years. Mm-hmm. Whereas we have all these things memorized. Isn't that amazing? The people that made the show probably couldn't tell you what was in an episode.
Oh, sure.
In some respects.
It's we've actually, I think, gotten some criticism as a podcast because we overanalyze the show so much, and the show really wasn't made to be overanalyzed like the way we're doing. It's not like we're breaking down like a Kubrick movie or something like that. We're talking about a 22-minute sitcom here. It's not meant to be overanalyzed. But I think that's just kind of the fun. You want to squeeze out every little bit of juice out of that orange, is that a good analogy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again with the oranges. You must go.
Oh, that was good. But yeah, man, it's tough because we're spending so much more time with these episodes, and we probably look at them in a different way as audience members. You know what I mean? We're not.
Oh, we're fans, and we cherish each episode, and it's like people that loved Led Zeppelin and knew every second of every track on all their albums. So to us, this is a labor of love. Is us getting together each week to talk about this. So
sure.
I just found it interesting hearing Jerry kind of say, yeah, the one with the guy and the heart attack or the stroke in the wheelchair.
Mm-hmm. And again, we're going a little long here, but if you don't like this episode as a whole, or if you don't like the Owen March storyline, there's still some great stuff in this episode. I mean, these pretzels are making me thirsty. To the scene at the rent-a-car center.
That's classic.
There's so much good stuff here that I think you can be like, I'm not a fan of this element of an episode, but I love all the rest. So why don't we move on to our discussion?
Oh, we're still going to talk about the show now?
Oh, yeah. That's it for this week.
Seems to me the way they designed the car alarm is so that the car will behave as if it was a nervous, hysterical person. Anyone goes near it, anyone disturbs it, lights flashing on and off, acting all crazy. Not everyone wants to draw that much attention to themselves. Wouldn't it be nice if you could have a car alarm that was a little more subtle? Maybe just, somebody tries to break in and it goes... Excuse me? I would like a car alarm like that.
I love animated Jerry, man. Like,
Yeah.
anytime he gets a little wacky is, God, so funny.
It's so fun to do that sound effect in particular.
Yeah. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
All right,
There you go. Hey. And it actually reminded me, it kind of made me think of how, stand-up comedians will approach the same topic, but from a different angle. And I don't know if you remember this, but Dane Cook's, one of his first stand-up
Don't you
album.
mention his name on
I'm
this
bringing
mic.
him up, yeah. But remember he did a bit about car alarms, and he did it as a song, and he would go, ooh, ooh, and
Oh,
he would
yeah.
go, hello, I'm a car. Jerry approaches it from this way as this, nut going off, and versus, can you be a little more subtle?
Right.
And then you look at Dane Cook's angle on car alarms. And I think even another comedian did something about a James Brown car alarm. For some reason, that sticks in my head.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No.
Can we get a new host in here?
No, stop. Nah, that sounds about right. But I don't know why. I think a lot of Americans feel that way about Dane Cook. Especially if you were there during his rise and then his fall of sorts. But
I contend that people like to hate on him because he was so good and got so big so fast.
oh, the faster you rise, man, the quicker you get taken down.
He lived to become the villain.
Oh my god.
But his old stuff's really good. His newer stuff, I don't know. When he got into movies and
Mr. Brooks.
hey, Dan in Real Life was a classic.
I liked Waiting, but he wasn't really the star of that one.
That's true. He was good in that.
Yeah.
But
Wait, we're talking about Seinfeld here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's. Yeah, good stand up. Good stand up.
Yeah.
We open up at Jerry's apartment. Feels good. Jerry and George are, walking in. They close the door. They take one step. They take another step. Okay. Jerry is throwing off his hat. He's really frustrated because his car was stolen, Vinny.
Yeah. I'd like to point out, notice how
Whoa.
Jerry... it's
Okay. Sorry.
going to be one of those nights.
Yeah, it's another 12:30 a.m. recording. So
Notice how Jerry and George are in their softball attire.
now, hang on a second here. You say
Oh.
softball attire. They
do.
have on Mets hats. I assume they're going to a game.
Yeah, but George has on one of those baseball shirts that says Broadway Bound. Mm-hmm. And Jerry has on like a starter warm-up
Oh yeah,
thing.
you're right. White
So-
shirt, red sleeves.
So to me, this is the second time that they've had a softball game. The first one was in the Pony Remark. And then we'll see them again play softball when the improv takes on Rochelle the Musical in the understudy.
Now, okay, I guess that makes more sense. That they might have taken like the subway to the park. They came back. They were going to drive somewhere. That's when they find out the car was stolen. Because in my notes, I imagined they were going to a Mets game. They go downstairs and the car's missing. And they come back upstairs and he's all pissed off.
Either way, you're going to be pissed off if your car's gone.
I'll try to find a little cricket noise to put in there. Kramer enters at one point, and George has the idea, hey, you should, just call your car phone because Jerry's going to call the service to cancel it, and which is such a brilliant idea. It almost comes off in the writing as sort of an aside, like a joke.
Yeah, what if?
Yeah, what if? But no, you should do this. And this idea actually was based on a real-life incident from the life of one of the executive producers on the show, Andy Scheinman, who I think we've brought up before in another episode. We don't talk about Andy Scheinman that much, but he did factor into a bit of trivia.
Okay.
Can't recall which. Anyways, so this part was inspired from him. I'm sure Larry David picked up on it, wrote it into the episode. Did this calling the car thief remind you of anything?
No.
It reminded me personally a little bit of calling. Is it Tony, the car mechanic?
Oh, yes, it is Tony.
From the bottle deposit?
Yeah.
Where he takes
played
the
by
sob?
Brad Garrett.
Yeah. Just the
I
whole
could see that.
factors in. Only this time, or that time, we get, the car thief's point of view, whereas with this one, it's just a voice on the phone.
And whose voice is it?
Hello? Is this 555-8383?
Have no idea.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Did you steal my car?
Yes, I did.
You did?
I did.
But that's my car.
I didn't know it was yours.
What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. Drive around?
Then can I have it back?
Nah, I'm gonna keep it.
Hello?
Yeah, who's this?
Kramer.
Hello, Kramer.
Listen, there's a pair of gloves in the glove compartment.
Wait, hold it. Brown ones?
Yeah. Listen, could you mail those to me? Or bring them by my building. It's 129 West 81st Street.
129. Okay.
All right, thanks a lot. Here's Jerry.
Gloves. Hello?
Jerry?
Yeah, let me ask you a question. How do you cross those wires?
I didn't cross any wires. The keys were in it.
Sid left the keys in the car. All right, I gotta go. Drive carefully.
Hey, Jerry, when's the last time you had a tune-up? Because I can't find the...
When I first saw this episode, I had no idea who Larry David was.
Yeah.
And it made me so happy, like returning to this episode, one of my personal favorites, and finding out like he has such a big role. In fact, does his role as Newman kind of count in continuity, because they redo his voice with Wayne Knight's voice?
Yeah, for syndication, they had Wayne Knight re-record his lines. I like to think of Wayne Knight always being Newman.
Sure.
So we can make this as Larry David's debut.
Well, he shows up in that movie.
What did you say?
In the pen. He's a voice. He's a pen in.
That's true.
He's a voice in the Chinese restaurant, but he's the guy on the TV in the heart attack.
Oh, there you go.
But this is like a role. Like this, he's a character. He's got some great material.
He's credited as car thief.
There you go. We're really picking this scene to death, but did you notice the soda George was drinking?
Shasta.
What the hell is Shasta? I've never heard of it.
I think that's a Detroit or Michigan-based drink, if I recall.
I could have looked it up on Wikipedia, but I think Vinny's doing that right now.
Yep, you got me.
As we move on, while you're looking that up, Vinny, Jerry explains that this guy, Sid, left the keys in the car. He's a guy in the neighborhood who parks cars and moves them from one side of the street to the other so you don't get a ticket, hence the alternate side. And he does this for about 40 to 50 cars. Kramer,
$50 a month times 50 cars is $2,500.
It's not bad. Wait,
and he only works 3 hours a day?
$2,500 a month? A month?
But he probably...
yeah, $2,500 a month for only 3 hours of work a day? Is that right?
Yeah. Well, he probably works elsewhere, but that's not a bad chunk of change.
Yeah. Okay, so 15-hour work week. Yeah, you think about it. If you worked a 40-hour work week, that would equate to being about $7,000 a month, and that's pretty good.
So I completely botched the Shasta. I'm thinking of Faygo.
Oh my God, I could have told you that. I drank Faygo growing up.
I'm sorry.
I'm from Indiana. I know what it's like.
Shasta was originally founded in Maryland in 1889.
Oh, Maryland! Come on.
Headquarters. Shame on me. Its headquarters are in California.
All right. Well, we're all over the place as usual.
The company name is derived from Mount...
We're still on Shasta, okay.
The company name is derived from Mount Shasta and an associated spring.
It's fascinating. Anything else?
Nope. Riveting.
Drivel. So anyways, you've all watched the episode. You know what we're trying to talk about here. George is like, hey, I could park these cars for Sid and make some money because I'm unemployed. He's been unemployed since The Revenge.
Yeah.
And it was so depressing when I was watching this episode because there are little moments, little lines that George says this episode that I can relate to very much. And
what's a young man like you want to park cars for?
I'm in a transition phase. Like that right there, that line crushed my spirit because George and I are very similar. At least at this point in my life, we are very similar.
Don't take that from me. I think I relate to George much more than you do.
Well, speaking of Sid, we suddenly meet him. He seems like a nice guy. Love his his voice, his delivery. He obviously was hired because he's such a interesting character actor.
Absolutely. He's played by actor Jay Brooks, and we see him in The Alternate Side, as well as he comes back to reprise his role as Sid in The Parking Space. Mm-hmm. I actually like him in this episode, and I could have seen him coming back every now and then to like a Harold and Manny, like we talk about.
It's in my notes, man. Exactly.
He could have been somebody who always butted heads with George, or even Kramer for that matter, you know?
Yeah, I don't know how much like mileage you would have gotten out of this character, because he is known as someone. He's not from the building, right? He's in the neighborhood, and he parks cars on that street, on that block. So, when he's brought back in the parking space, it's because it's about parking. You know what I mean?
Well, by that same token, when Jerry had his smelly car, Sid could have been like, "Why you got a smelly car? I never had a smelly car."
Yeah, good point. Good point.
There were a couple things I wanted to touch on from the clip. Only Kramer would think to and be so conscientious to ask for his gloves back, and in such a casual way. You know, mail them to my building, or just stop by 129 West 81st Street. And then secondly, Jerry's not even that upset that his car's been stolen. He's kind of taking it all in stride, and rather than obsess over it,
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, he breaks even, you know.
But to be fair, though, he has insurance.
True,
as he tells Sid, so.
But no car. Yeah. But his curiosity consumes him, as it always does, and the only thing he can think of to ask the car thief is, "How'd you cross those wires?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, rather than be all upset and just lose his mind over his car being stolen, as I'm sure George would, he wants to know, how'd you cross those wires?
Right. Well, Sid apologizes. You know, he doesn't really seem that concerned. But again, maybe it's because of Jerry having insurance, so he doesn't feel that bad. It's at this point, It's kind of like an inconvenience. Sid explains that he got distracted by this Woody Allen movie that was shooting on the block. And at this point, we get the setup to one of the best Kramer storylines. He's in the movie.
Yeah.
And when he says that, I'm in that movie, he's just picking his nails casually.
Yeah.
George seems like a little annoyed.
Oh, he's jealous. Yeah. And he's got contempt for Kramer. You're in the movie? You got a line in the movie.
Well, that's later he gets even more like pissed off, sure. This is a Kramer ism or character trait where he just kind of he falls ass backwards into money, as George puts it, but he just seems so lucky in life. A lot of misfortune falls on Kramer, but he seems to just kind of stumble into these, I don't know, these incredible
it's Forrest Gump like. All these wonderful things happen to him that he just kind of stumbles, falls into.
I want to see a remake of Forrest Gump with Michael Richards as Kramer playing Forrest Gump. But yeah, it's incredible, and it kind of goes back to the nose job a little bit. Remember, like when we left that episode, he had Audrey, and he's like, "Yeah, my jacket."
Yeah,
he's just got all of this luck, and sure enough, he's in this movie because he was just watching them film, right? And a guy said, "Hey, you want to be in the movie?"
Right out of the clear blue sky.
Clear blue sky.
And this type of banter, I think, occurs often in the Seinfeld universe, where one person will set up another person with a line, and that second person will repeat this line, but with more oomph and vigor. Mm-hmm. So, clear blue sky. And that kind of got me think of, she faked them all? Faked them all. Mm-hmm. And I think they do this a lot in Seinfeld.
Told me to drop dead.
Yeah.
Drop dead.
Drop dead. So do that with your friends. They say something, you come back with the same line.
I just want to know why they didn't ask George to be in the movie.
Kramer's got a quality.
Hey, Jerry, you got insurance, right?
Yeah, but no car. I'll have to rent one.
Well, I'm going down to visit my sister in Virginia next Wednesday for a week, so I can't park it.
This Wednesday?
No, next Wednesday. Week after this Wednesday.
But the Wednesday 2 days from now is the next Wednesday.
If I meant this Wednesday, I said this Wednesday. It's the week after this Wednesday.
Sid, who's gonna move the cars while you're away?
Whoever wants to move them. What do I care who moves them? They can move themselves if they want.
Maybe I could move them until you get back.
What's a young man like you want to move cars for? You don't work?
I'm in a transition phase right now.
Well, if you want to move the cars. Just don't forget to take the keys out, that's all.
So, Matt, I'd say we do this a lot where we
overanalyze Seinfeld and
for one,
annoy a lot of people.
Yeah. But when we'll talk about a day and we'll say this Wednesday, and we'll chuckle And your wife will roll her eyes at us.
Yes, my pretend wife.
That's the one.
Yeah, this whole deal with this Wednesday and next Wednesday.
Yeah.
I've pretty much got this figured out. It took me a couple of decades, but
I'd like to hear it.
Well, I finally have just accepted the fact that if anyone's going to be talking about not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that, they'll be specific. So this and next Wednesday are in fact the same thing. I, for the longest time, thought this Wednesday, so if today's Monday, in 2 days, it's this Wednesday.
Correct. That I agree with.
The Wednesday in 9 days
is next Wednesday.
That's, I thought that way for a long time, and sadly, it took decades for me to come to except the fact that this and next are interchangeable for most people.
So who do you agree with in this argument?
Old me used to agree with Sid.
Okay.
New me agrees with Jerry when he says, but the Wednesday 2 days from now is the next Wednesday.
See, I think I still agree with Sid that if I hear next, I'm thinking 9 days from now, not this.
Not this, yeah.
You have to say either this or the following Wednesday or next Wednesday.
Vinny, man, you're gonna get left behind. You gotta just change and roll with it.
No. I also wanted to talk about the end of the scene when the phone rings again. Jerry answers and says, "Hello." Yeah, the defroster's the one on the bottom. Just slide it all the way over. And there's a nice audience laugh, and that's the end of the scene.
It's a good button to get you out.
Yeah. But I was curious, do you think it was a conscious choice to not include Larry David's voice in that portion of the scene? Was it funnier to have Jerry be the one to reveal that it's the thief calling rather than have Larry and Jerry kind of go back and forth? What do you think?
Yes, I think exactly what you just said.
Okay.
Because I wrote in my notes, hey, we don't hear the voice this time. But it's pretty obvious when you think about it. It's not nearly as funny if you hear Larry David saying, like, how does the defroster work?
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Next scene is at a rent-a-car center. I never knew it was called the Worthy Rent-A-Car.
Yeah, they got that sign plastered in the background.
Yeah, very bizarre. Jerry's in line to rent a car to replace the one that was stolen. Elaine is in line with him, and she's going on. Love it when we just drop into these, middle of a conversation.
Yeah.
She's going on about this intellectual novelist she's dating named Owen March.
Owen March. I've never heard of him.
Well, he's not a baseball player.
Oh, another dig.
You know what? I felt like this comment from Elaine sort of, we bring up the flirty teasing that Jerry and Elaine, have for each other back and forth. This didn't feel like flirty teasing. This felt like an intellectual dig.
Yeah.
Like she's really insulting his intelligence, or at least like his culture tastes, as it were.
It's nice to be involved with a man who doesn't watch Nick at night.
Right. They do good things. They read.
I read.
Books, Jerry.
Big deal.
Like Elaine, even though she went to Tufts, we've said this before, she's definitely the smartest of the group.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a bit of like not a snobby side, but this.
Frank Costanza hit the nail on the head. She's, what's the word? Supercilious.
Right. But this is, to me at least, the first time I feel like she's insulting Jerry's intelligence, which is just interesting to note for those of you that are overanalyzing the show with us.
I think there's just two people left.
Yeah, at this point. So she's talking about this guy, Owen March, claimed novelist. Oh, you know what? Never thought of this. That's a bit of like a daddy issue, isn't it? Like the fact that she's dating a novelist. Her dad's a novelist.
Who's practically the same age as her father, too.
Yeah, probably the same age. I never noticed that parallel between the two.
Nor did I. Good catch.
There is one problem, as you mentioned, though. He's 66 years old.
Doesn't that seem like a get out moment? I could have seen Jerry push her at that time saying, get out.
Well, he's like a little taken aback.
Yeah.
And we can talk about this in this scene and in later scenes, but I don't think Jerry's jealous per se, but he's almost kind of like, wait, why would Elaine be dating someone that's maybe twice her age at this point?
Well, and I actually wanted to talk about that. If we could estimate Elaine's age, if she's about the same age as Jerry, she's what, 36ish?
Well, we've gotten so many contradictions in age, and the show does go on for 9 seasons. I like to think everyone's about 33 when the show starts, and when it ends, they're like 41, 42. Kramer, though, I feel like is older than everyone by like a good 5 maybe 10 years.
Well, the man's got a face like a goblin. So. That means that Elaine is, 35 and Owen's 66, so they're 31 years apart?
Yeah, I'd say so. Well, so Jerry gets called over to the agent, I guess.
Yes, the renegade.
And Jerry's still in shock a little bit here, but he cracks a little joke. Seinfeld, I made a reservation for a midsize, and she's a small.
I love that joke.
That face Elaine does, though. Whew.
So I just like to point out that the rental car agent is played by actress Janet Zarish. I have no other notes about her other than she was in a Mad About You.
Well, in the script, her character name was Lydia, but I think she's just Agent for the most part.
Agent Lydia?
Agent Lydia. Well, she does. Jerry does reference the name Marge while he's imagining the two of them talk, but I don't know who is. Maybe she's Marge. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, so Jerry questions 66 years old, and Elaine responds with, "Yeah, well, he's in perfect health. He works out. He's vibrant. You'd love him."
Why do people always say that? I hate everybody. Why would I like him?
Now, that to me screams Larry David.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, so good.
It's so weird when you can like literally hear someone's voice in a character.
I don't want to say we've been bombarded with, but we've engrossed ourselves in this guy's mind, and Jerry's for that matter, for the past, how long has it been since 89?
Yeah, we started with the 25th anniversary. And of course, Jerry adds that, he could go out with a 66-year-old woman, but she would have to be really vibrant. So vibrant, she'd be spinning.
Pretty vibrant.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have no midsize available at the moment.
I don't understand. I made a reservation. Do you have my reservation?
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, we ran out of cars.
But the reservation keeps the car here. That's why you have the reservations.
I know why we have reservations.
I don't think you do. If you did, I'd have a car. See, you know how to take the reservation, you just don't know how to hold the reservation. And that's really the most important part of the reservation, the holding. Anybody can just take them.
Let me speak with my supervisor.
Here we go. The supervisor. You know what she's saying over there?
What?
Hey, Marge, see those two people over there? They think I'm talking to you. So you pretend like you're talking to me. Okay, now you start talking.
Oh, you mean like this? So it looks like I'm saying something, but I'm not really saying anything at all?
Okay, now you say something else, and they won't yell at me because they thought I was checking with you.
Oh, great, I think that's enough. See you later.
I'm sorry, my supervisor says there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, it looked like you were in a real conversation over there.
But we do have a compact if you would like that.
Fine.
All right. Well, we have a blue Ford Escort for you, Mr. Seinfeld. Would you like insurance?
Yeah, you better give me the insurance because I am going to beat the hell out of this thing.
Great stuff here, man. Just one of the all-time best scenes.
Classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really like when Jerry has the upper hand in a situation.
Yeah.
Kind of like when the telemarketer calls and he's like, "Oh, I'm not, can I call you back? Why don't you give me your contact number?" And the guy's like, "Well, we can't really do that." Well, now you know how I feel.
Sure.
Big audience applause.
Yeah, it's almost like
gratifying.
These scenes where Jerry is speaking for like the little man or the everyday person. Hey, we know how frustrated you are in these situations. Well, I'm gonna speak for you here, and you can like live through me for a moment.
We're with you, Aqua Boy. Godspeed.
It's such a first world problem too to be like, "Oh, you don't have my reservation? Oh my god!" Like, yeah. Fight for our rights.
Did you at all think of Winona during this scene and this talk about reservations?
Oh, no, I didn't. That's a interesting parallel.
I kept thinking of her and how Jerry was just throwing reservation around willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Rather than saying, "I've arranged for the appropriate accommodations."
That is not PC Jerry. Well, Elaine wonders if she's making a big mistake with Owen. And a nice transitional moment here between these scenes. How does it go? Walk me down the rungs.
I love being with him. I mean, I like being with him. It's okay being with him. I just don't enjoy being with him.
Yeah. She's in Jerry's kitchen now with him, and she explains that she's meeting Owen for lunch later at Chadway's, and we got on this great topic. Love this topic. Asking Jerry, can I break up with him over the phone, or do I have to do it face to face?
Speaking of breakups, before you get into that,
Sure.
where does Kramer take George to break up with him? Which is the breakup capital?
And
Trivia?
not Pomodoro.
You're close.
Not Pomodoro.
El Pomodoro.
Oh, El Pomodoro.
Right?
Yeah. I think it's just Pomodoro.
Maybe I'm right.
It's like,
Where did I get that?
Pomodoros?
Yeah.
You know, my wife. Like, I'm sorry, but my personal story here. My wife and I were walking around like the Upper West Side last weekend, and we were gonna go see a movie. And we were just looking for a place to grab a bite to eat. She was in the mood for Italian, and sure enough, there was Pomodoro. And I was like, "Oh God!" We didn't wind up eating there, but part of me was a little paranoid. Yeah,
Or shame. So anyway, Chadway's breaking up. Go ahead.
yeah, breaking up. But this whole idea of, hey, how do you break up with someone face to face, or can it be over the phone? And Jerry has the set rule that you've been out 7 times, so that's a face to face breakup. And if it was 6, he could have let her go, which is.
And one of the wonderful things about Seinfeld is this etiquette. This what is correct in society. How many dates does it take before you have to break up with somebody face to face?
Which is ridiculous. Like, as Cheryl points out in Curb, like, not everybody knows your rules. You know, there's there's no fixed number. But objectively, like, just, you know, picking a number, 7 feels about right. But I don't know, man. Going out with someone 6 times and then breaking up with them over the phone or today via text or email, it seems kind of cold.
I'd agree.
But no one likes confronting. No one likes talking face to face, right?
That's why they just stop calling altogether.
Altogether, right?
But there is an asterisk to this rule.
What's that?
So if there were more than 7 dates, but there was no sex had, you don't have to break up face to face.
Now, I got the vibe, especially Jerry's reaction when Elaine's like, huh, because she obviously had sex with Owen.
Yeah.
Jerry has this not surprised look on his face, but kind of like a smirk. And I just feel like he's testing her. Like he wants to find out a little bit about this relationship as Elaine's ex and a confidant, but also I think he's a little kind of weirded out by the fact that he's so old.
Right.
And he wants to know, did they have sex? And I don't know, just watch his reaction when she goes, huh.
It's a frustrated look.
Sure. Maybe I'm just imagining it. But Kramer enters.
Yeah.
But he gets shoved out of the way as George storms in behind him. Hair's a mess. You know, rings of keys hanging from his belt like he's a medieval dungeon master. And
nice one.
Thank you. George is flipping out. I don't think we've seen George this upset yet in the show. This is an 11, I think, in terms of like George freakouts.
And Julia would always comment how Jason had the perfect hair for these scenes where he was running around frantic because his hair would stand straight up on the top of his head.
What comes to mind? That image when he comes in. I was at the unemployment office.
Yeah.
And I told him I got a job or an interview at Vandalay Industries. But George is just flipping out, right? He's got a car that's overheating. He's got an alarm that won't stop. He's pressing 1. He's pressing 2. Help me. Help me.
And the collective hands go up in the air. I can't help you.
I would compare. I mean, if this freak out is one of the biggest, you know, I was trying to think of one that tops it. Maybe the fire when he's pushing kids and the old lady out of the way. But that's more of like a fear, panic, like I'm going to die scenario.
I would argue him running out of the bathroom screaming Vandalay Industries with his pants around his ankles.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
It's short-lived, but at the same time, he
reaches that high note.
Yeah.
Another assignment we'll put out to our Seincasters. If anyone thinks of a bigger freak-out moment for George, we'd like to hear about it.
Mrs. Enright!
Oh, there you go. Kramer explains to everyone that he was filming his scene today for the Woody Allen movie, and all he had to do was carry a bag of groceries, but he slipped. I slipped, and the bag goes flying. Love how Michael hits those words.
And wait, before you go, I'm sorry. Did you think of Kramer carrying the bag of groceries down the street when the cable company is watching him? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I was thinking of that for some reason.
I could see that. Well, the bag goes flying. Woody starts laughing, and he was drinking something and started coming out of his nose.
So then what?
Well, he got a line in the movie.
So let's talk about each person's reaction. Elaine, get out. Jerry, That's great. What does George say?
You got a line in a Woody Allen movie? On paper, it's just you got a line in a Woody Allen movie. That could be taken so many ways, but hats off to Jason for just knowing the mindset George is in right now and how his life is.
Kramer, hey. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Kramer's excited because he might have a whole new career in his hands.
You mean a career?
And I have to add to that line about, was Mia Farrow there? I didn't see him.
Yeah.
Great.
Kramer's ignorance is, and
George is so pissed off because he's like, this idiot got a line in a movie and he has no idea who Mia Farrow is. It reminded me a little bit of in the Summer of George after the Tonys, and he's like, I just saw the sunrise at Liza's.
Manelli?
No.
What's your line?
Oh, well, okay, I'm there with Woody. You know, I'm at this bar, and it's Woody Allen. Did I mention that?
Yeah, we got it.
And I'm sitting there with Woody, and I turn to him and I go, boy, these pretzels are making me thirsty.
Is that how you're going to say it?
No, I'm working on it.
Do it like this. These pretzels are making me thirsty.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
No, see, that's no good. See, you don't know how to act.
These pretzels are making me thirsty. Oh, that was no good?
I didn't say anything.
All right, I'm gonna go break up with Owen.
What was wrong with that? I had a different interpretation. Do you know anything about this pretzel guy? Maybe he's been in the bar a really long time and he's really depressed because he has no job and no woman and he's parking cars for a living. All right, shut up! Shut up! I hear you! I'm coming down! These pretzels are making me thirsty! Yeah!
I think this might actually be George's biggest freak out.
Yeah. And if you watch Jerry, he's cracking a smile while Jason's delivering these lines.
Oh, yeah. That might even be Jerry the character laughing at George's misfortune.
True.
How would you say this line, by the way?
Let's see.
Get in the right mindset.
Yeah. Acting. These pretzels are making me thirsty.
You just go for it. Yeah. You're in a Woody Allen movie. Why not?
Let's hear yours.
Let's see. Oh, these pretzels are making me thirsty. Yeah, I don't know.
See, that's no good. You don't know how to act.
So we cut to Jerry's apartment, presumably later in the day. Jerry answers the door, and it's Elaine. She's carrying Owen March, and he's unconscious. You know, he's not looking too hot. We transition to Owen on the couch. He's still unconscious, while Elaine is explaining that she was about to break up with him when he started to twitch.
And Owen March is played by actor Edward Penn. I have no acting credits that are I recognize as being worth mentioning.
Oh, we sound like such assholes when we say that. I'm so worth mentioning.
Oh, no, but there's no other acting credits. Let me say that again.
No, I know what you mean. Like to tie it into the Seinfeld world.
Yeah, there's nothing that I found that was related to Seinfeld.
Or Jake and the Fat Man.
No Jake and the Fat Man. No Mad About You.
No Batman.
No Curb. Nope.
Jerry calls the ambulance, and Kramer enters, rehearsing his pretzel line. Yeah, what is that line again?
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
To the point he's like pulling one of those like the big fat pretzels out of his pocket, and he's like chewing on it.
Those are tough to bite into.
Yeah. Well, the group starts panicking here, all three of them. And I like this dynamic, by the way. I have we seen Kramer, Elaine, and Jerry together? Because people usually get paired off, or it's Jerry, George, Elaine.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you're right.
We haven't really had the Elaine, Jerry, and Kramer, I don't know, just like comedy scene yet, to my knowledge.
I can't really think of one. Jason's usually there for everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, the group starts to panic here. They're not sure what to do.
Yeah, let's go through each of the potential. First of all, the remedies that they suggest. So what's the first? Jerry suggests you raise the feet, get blood to the head.
No. You raise the head, you give blood to the feet.
What about a cold compress? You could always do that.
Yeah, Jerry doesn't have a washcloth.
Use a paper towel?
It won't stay on.
What about a big sponge?
How are you going to get to stay on his forehead?
Use a belt.
Love that. And Kramer just like whips it out.
Yeah.
It's this rapid fire like delivery between all the characters. This, as much as I love the rent-a-car scene and the George freakout earlier and the whole, pretzels are making me thirsty, this just rapid fire, not between two characters, but three, mind you, is so good. And I remember this the first time I watched it. This is when I really started to fall in love with Seinfeld. Again, this is like one of the first episodes I ever saw. And yeah, it's just wonderful. Love
Ping
this.
pong at its best.
Should we walk him around?
Yeah, I've seen him do that.
No, that's for a drug overdose.
Maybe that's what he's got.
No, Kramer, I just had lunch with him. He didn't leave the table.
Well, he could have dropped acid when you weren't looking.
He is not a drug addict.
Hey, you know what? Maybe he's a diabetic. He might just need a cookie or something.
A cookie?
Can you give him a cookie?
How's he gonna chew it?
We'll move his teeth. It happened to my uncle. The sugar revived him.
Careful, you're getting crumbs all over him.
I got him chewing, but I don't think he's gonna swallow.
All right, you know what? Let's put a few cookies in a blender and he could drink it.
Cookies don't liquefy.
Yes, they do. You can liquefy a cookie.
All right, I'll get the blender.
What blender? I don't have a blender.
You got a blender?
I would know if I had a blender.
Where's the ambulance?
So another exchange with some great bloopers where Jerry and Julia can't keep it together when they talk about liquefying a cookie. Cookies don't liquefy is the culmination of that blooper.
I added a blooper to last week's episode.
Yeah.
Oh, with Kramer and Elaine in the hallway with the
Martin Van Nostrand.
Yes.
Or yeah.
No, not
Doctor.
Martin. I think it's
Professor Peter Van Nostrand.
Is it Peter? Yeah. We were talking about this. He has like 3 different names.
Yep.
I will definitely play the audio from that blooper here.
Thank you.
Oh, careful, you're getting crumbs all over him.
I got him chewing, but I don't think I can get him to swallow.
Maybe you should put a few cookies in a blender and he could drink it.
Cookies don't liquefy.
Yes, they can. You can liquefy a cookie.
All right, I'll get the blender.
Jerry mentions his uncle is diabetic. And I don't know. Just a little bit of trivia. Is that Uncle Leo, Uncle Mac?
Yeah.
You don't know. And something we mentioned earlier, this ping pong humor to this scene and the writing in particular, it's great. But it also builds like a crescendo to that ambulance. Like, it reaches that peak and you just have that crash outside and then we go to our act break.
Larry Charles always liked talking about ratcheting up the stakes. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what's going on here is back, forth in terms of story.
All right, let's take a short break.
Sparky? Sparky? Sparky, come back! Sparky, stay! Sparky!
There's only one way off this bird for you now, mister.
Good thing these rolled gold pretzels are fat-free.
Arms away, pretzel boy.
Brave man.
Yeah, must be the pretzels.
For great taste that's fat-free, it must be rolled gold.
Okay, we're back.
Some time has elapsed here. The ambulance has still not arrived. And it's just audio, but you can tell it's chaos out on the streets. It's not good. Jerry's on the phone trying to find out where the ambulance is when the buzzer goes off and the paramedics are on their way up. And while they're waiting, it's kind of a weird moment, but as dark as this story might be to some people, I do like the idea of Jerry and Elaine just like staring at the body on the couch. And
yeah.
His eyebrows could use a trimming.
Which actually is a subject I'd like to talk about in greater depth.
Eyebrow trimming?
If anybody ever has an eyebrow, is it an eyebrow lash? Because the eyebrow is the full brow. What's just one hair coming out of the eyebrow? Is it a lash?
No, I don't know what that is.
What do you call that? There's no term for it.
Yeah, I guess there isn't.
Eyebrow
hair? Yeah.
Anything, anyway.
A lone eyebrow hair.
But if there's ever one that's gone rogue or a nose hair that's not in the right place, I want somebody to tell me that.
Yes.
Couldn't that be a grounds for an episode?
I don't know about a whole episode.
Or a thing.
Sure, it could be like getting you into
on my idea.
You're like, could that be a show?
That's a show.
Jerry also mentions a silk bathrobe here, and he bets that Owen wears slippers.
He does.
He's like, I could tell. again, I think this is going back to the like seeing if Elaine's had sex with him. His reaction to Elaine dating an old guy. I feel like Jerry's making fun of Elaine at this point.
Really?
Yeah, like he's kind of like, I bet he wears slippers. And Elaine's like sort of aloof. Hey, he does. How'd you know that?
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
Because I don't know. I just get the vibe that Jerry's just sort of, I mean, not upset, but just a little. He thinks it's interesting that Elaine is dating an old guy, and he wants to kind of maybe poke fun at her a little bit.
I didn't see that at all.
You didn't?
So I'm gonna disagree with you on that one. I think he was just at that point he was admiring Owen. So he was saying, because he's a good-looking man with devilish eyebrows, but he's kind of a distinguished fellow, good-looking.
Sure.
So he's the type of gentleman who's going to wear slippers. That's how I perceived it.
All right.
Discuss, everybody.
The paramedics bust in, frantic, as they should be. They're explaining they're late because the intersection was gridlocked and some guy was triple parking cars and slammed into them, specifically with a blue Escort.
Blue Escort? That's my rent-a-car. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we have a double dipper here, Matt.
You double dipped the chip. Double dipped? What are you talking about?
Jeff Barton, he plays the paramedic as well in this episode, as well as poker player number 3 in the opposite.
Number 3.
Is that a double dipper? Does that count?
Oh, sure. Why not?
What the hell?
I'm sure someone out there will argue that the paramedic and the guy playing poker in the opposite are in fact the same person.
Well, does that mean that Jerry met this paramedic at this point in his life and they became friends?
Well, obviously.
Aha.
Oh. At this point, George enters, small bump on his forehead, tells the same story pretty much as Sid did earlier. I saw Woody Allen, got distracted.
Woody Allen's got quite an effect on people.
Oh, he sure does.
Who else crashed a car when they saw a certain someone walking down the street?
So you're saying Woody Allen was wearing a bra?
Yes.
Flouting society's conventions?
Memory burn.
What are you doing out there? You're holding up the production of the movie. We can't shoot, and Woody, he's really mad at you.
Woody mentioned it? What did he say?
He said, who's the moron in the blue jacket who's got the street all screwed up?
Should I apologize to Woody?
All right, I'll tell you what. Next time I talk to him, maybe I'll bring it up. I'm feeling out.
It's funny how Kramer says, we can't shoot, and Woody, he's really mad at you. But George is excited by this. He's like, Woody mentioned me? Even though Woody's upset with him. I find that funny.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Next scene is a little bit of stand-up.
What do you think first aid was like, though, like hundreds of years ago? You know, I mean, they had no medicine, no drugs, no technology, no equipment. Basically, they were there first. That was it. That was the whole first aid. They sit with you. That's all they could do. Can you help me? No, we can't help you, but we were the first ones here. I don't know if you know that. Did you see our truck? First aid. That's our motto. We show up before anybody.
It's okay. Like, again, we're acting like we could write better, like, stand-up. We couldn't at all, but...
I have so in my notes.
Right. I feel like maybe something like this gets cut from syndicated versions, maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
I do like the idea of they're the first ones on the scene. Like, we were there first. That's it.
It's got to be tough, though, when you have so many apartment scenes, but you need to have that passage of time.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that's why this stand-up is here.
It sort of relates to the episode, though, in that the paramedics are arriving to the scene.
That's true. You know, I mean, God, you could be so hypercritical of any stand-up, but I do like it if it ties into the story somehow. It doesn't feel completely out of place like other stand-ups in the past.
I have a point.
So we're back at the apartment. I don't know when this is in the future, like a week later, but Sid and George are sitting on the couch, and Sid's really laying into him for screwing up the business. George really has nothing to say. He's almost like a little kid who's being scolded.
Right.
Like, there's some specifics here, but you know, since all these people canceled on him because their cars either were crashed or just the whole chaos, Sid won't have money to send to his sister who lives in Virginia, and now his nephew is going to be walking around with a limp since they can't afford surgery.
Because you can't park a few cars.
And that great George line.
Maybe I should call my father.
It's great. Kramer enters with Jerry's newspaper and shows him an article about Owen March.
There's an article in there about that writer.
Owen March, prominent author and essayist, suffered a stroke yesterday in the Upper West Side apartment of a friend.
Huh? That's the guy that was here. You're the friend.
The extent of the damage would have been far less severe had paramedics been able to reach him sooner.
Oh, Lord.
The commotion also delayed production of a Woody Allen movie that was shooting up the block. A spokeswoman for the legendary filmmaker said that Mr. Allen was extremely agitated and wondered if his days of shooting movies in New York were over.
So, Matt,
Yes.
I had a thought here.
What do you got?
I looked up what Woody Allen would have been working on in December of 1991, which is when this episode aired. And he actually wrote and directed a movie in 1991 called Shadows and Fog. Are you familiar with it?
I'm not.
So this movie was actually filmed in New York at some point in 1991.
Uh-huh.
And the tagline reads, "With a serial strangler on the loose, a bookkeeper wanders around town searching for the vigilante group intent on catching the killer." So that could be the movie that they are filming at this point in history.
I see what you're saying.
I wonder, though, how they would have squeezed the line, "These pretzels are making me thirsty," into this particular movie.
Well, we need to watch Shadows and Fog now and see where that would have happened.
Under genres, it has comedy, crime, drama, mystery, and thriller.
Now, in Shadows and Fog, was Woody Allen in the movie?
Yes, he played Kleinman.
That's it. Shadows and Fog. That's the movie.
Who else? Mia Farrow's in it. John Malkovich,
perfect.
Madonna.
Good catch. I like this. I like tying real world into Seinfeld as much as possible.
Thank you.
So we're at the Worthy Rent-A-Car Center again.
I so desperately want to say we're not worthy, but I'm not going to.
Very good.
Go ahead.
Very similar to the scene earlier. Elaine is in line with Jerry, and she's telling him that she was 5 seconds away from breaking up with Owen when he had the stroke. He can communicate by nodding and seems to enjoy it when Elaine reads to him. It's a dark situation, right? Like, this is, on the surface, objectively, I could see why Jerry brought this up as why this is maybe one of his least favorite episodes.
But even if you look to that newspaper article that Kramer brought in, the damage would have been much less severe had the paramedics gotten there in time.
Oh, yeah.
But because of the actions of George, and I guess Kramer and Jerry are somewhat involved, and Elaine.
By shoving cookies in his mouth.
There you go. The damage was much more severe.
Mm-hmm. So Elaine's dilemma is whether or not she break up with him, because it will look like she's abandoning him and she'll be ostracized from the community.
What community? There's a community?
Of course there's a community.
All these years I'm living in a community. I had no idea.
So maybe I'm insensitive here, but I think this, though, altogether is done pretty tastefully at this point, the storyline of the stroke. Like, there's nothing about it that's like mocking or making light of it. Like, it's sad, and even Elaine admits it's really like awful. And I feel bad for her because this feels kind of like a curb situation. Like, I was about to do something, situation has changed. What do I do now? Like, do I go forward with my original game plan, or do I stick it out?
It's actually George continuing to date Daphne for spite, because Al Necci said he was going to break up with her.
Good point.
That pimple.
So Jerry gets called up to the same agent from before.
Sir, the estimate on the damage to your car is $2,866.
Well, I got the insurance and everything, so...
Yes, now, in your report, you said that you were not the driver of the car at the time of the accident.
That is right. It was somebody else was driving.
All right, well, sir, you're only covered for when you're driving the car.
Mm-hmm. What's that?
You're not covered for other drivers.
Other drivers? Mm-hmm. Your whole business is based on other drivers. It's a rented car. That's who's driving it. Other drivers. Doesn't my credit card cover me or something?
Not that particular one.
Well, I got 100 cards. Here. Pick a card. Take a card. Any card you want. Go ahead. Whichever one. I don't care.
Really, sir, if you had read the rental agreement...
Did you see the size of that document? It's like the Declaration of Independence. Who's going to read that?
Mr. Seinfeld, As it stands right now, you are not covered for that damage. And there is absolutely nothing that can be done about that.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
I want to point out when the agent says, "All right, well, sir, you're only covered when you're driving the car." Jerry's response is, what's that? And everybody says that throughout the series, I would say. But that's a very common Seinfeld line and delivery when there's bad news or something shocking is delivered and the character kind of just glosses over it. But George does it the best where what's that?
I want to do that in real life now whenever someone gives me some bad news. What's that?
Yeah.
Love that.
Good one.
And I like how this the pretzels are making me thirsty. It's almost becoming its own thing now. It's a Serenity Now.
Oh, you jerk. I have that.
Oh, is that it?
No, go
Sorry.
ahead. Go.
No, I just opened my mouth and out it came. It just hit me right now. It's this coping mechanism.
I was actually going to point out, I'm going to save it for the Elaine scene, but go ahead.
Oh, no, that's all I got to say. What do you got?
I'm going to wait till the Elaine part. And then
let's move on. Next scene is at Owen March's apartment. And all in all, man, this is a tricky scene to cover because it's just Elaine talking. I don't really have much to say about it other than I think this is the darkest Seinfeld gets next to killing Susan, like right behind it. Just in terms of like trying to make a dark situation funny. I like a few of Elaine's lines here, like, Owen, it's a bitch to get here. I love that line.
And you notice his expressions when, she's listing off all the activities she likes to do, which I assume are excuses for, hey, you're old. These are reasons why I don't want to date you anymore. But when she says it's a real bitch to come over here, he's
shocked.
I
think the whole, like, sorry to interrupt, but the whole like imagery of a guy like in a wheelchair, obviously not having control over his his movement for the most part.
Somebody has to feed him, wipe his mouth.
Yeah, like visually it's just a little I'm not offended by any means personally, but I could see why a lot of people might not like this or why it rubs them the wrong way.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, it's tricky for me to like laugh out loud. LOL in this scene, but it's I don't know. What do you have to say about it?
Nothing with regards to that, but I noticed that all the characters in this episode will use this line, "These pretzels are making me thirsty," when they encounter some unfortunate circumstance. So if you look at it, when George sticks his head out of the window at Jerry's apartment and he yells down to the cars, "These pretzels are making me thirsty." Jerry, when he realizes he has to pay the damage to the rental car, says, "These pretzels are making me thirsty." And now Elaine, when she's uncomfortable breaking up with Owen and says,
the awkwardness.
That doesn't mean we...
The awkwardness.
Yeah, that doesn't mean we still can't be friends. These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Right.
And finally, in the last scene, when Kramer comes in to deliver the news that he lost his acting gig because a shard of glass hit Woody. I was delivering my line. "These pretzels are making me thirsty." It's like a black cloud that whenever a character utters this line, misfortune has befallen them.
Sure, yeah. It's sort of like the verbal cue that ain't right.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's almost like that line is cursed. When you say that line, something bad's gonna happen to you.
Since I've already done this twice this episode so far, I want to put it out to our listeners again. Is there a darker moment than this? Like, of course, Susan's death, I think, takes the cake. But is there a darker moment in Seinfeld than this, in your opinion? Anyways, next scene is at Monk's. First scene at Monk's this entire episode. And Elaine's on the topic of whether or not someone can die from an odor, like an overdose of odor.
That is a great coffee shop topic.
Yeah, it's great. Even Jerry's like, "Oh, good question."
And of course, George, is it me? Do I smell?
Which episode are you going to tie this into?
Is there an odor problem I'm not aware of?
The smelly car.
Oh, okay.
Like
I thought you were gonna say when George asked Elaine for one nugget of truth. What is it? That I'm bald? Is there an odor problem
yeah.
I'm not aware of?
Oh, right. Hey, no, that's even better, actually. That's even more specific. Good call. Well, she was noticing how disgusting the 42nd Street subways are when she bumped into Owen, and at this point, he's fully recovered. So there is like a happy ending to the Owen storyline. It's not like he was confined to a wheelchair the rest of his life, but he sounds like he's a little spiteful, and he told Elaine that he was just using her for sex, which,
ouch.
Yeah, ouch indeed. I get kind of a sense from like Elaine that she's I don't know if she's like regretting breaking up with Owen or what, but.
Well, she was used in a way. So that's the reveal, I believe.
Part of me thinks that he made that up, though, just because he was so upset with her for breaking up with him under the circumstances. But the waitress drops off the check at this point, which Jerry reaches for. George, of course, insists on paying since he smashed up the car, cost over $2,000.
Yeah, a cup of coffee ought to cover it. I'm surprised they didn't play on George's cheapness more in this scene. You know what I mean? They could have done something where...
Well, they did, actually, in the... we didn't really cover it this episode, but there was an alternate line here where... yeah, I'm doing your job.
Oh, no. You killed me now.
George originally replied, I'll tell you what, I'll split it with you. And Jerry says, the car? And he's like, no, the check. So...
Oh, cool.
So it got a little... And the same joke. I like this one a little bit more. I like Jerry's sarcasm.
Yeah.
You know?
And again, Jerry is not that upset. He's going to crack a joke about it.
Mm-hmm. So Kramer joins the group at this point.
What are you doing here? I got fired from the movie.
Oh, get out of here, what?
Well, you know, they were going to shoot it today, and we rehearsed it twice, and then Woody yells, action, and I turn to him and I say, these pretzels are making me thirsty. And I took a swig of beer, you know, and I slammed the glass down on the bar, and it shattered.
Oh.
Well, one of the pieces must have hit Woody, and he started crying. And he yells out, I'm bleeding, and he runs off. Anyway, this woman, she came up to me and she says, you're fired. Boy, I really nailed that scene.
Kramer's confidence there. He's so serious about nailing the scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he really wanted it.
And we should keep in mind, this is where he develops that acting bug, which is going to set wheels in motion for the end of season 3.
That's a great point. This whole, actually at the same booth, I think, comes back with Kramer and George in the Keys when...
Do you ever yearn?
Yeah, do you ever yearn? And he's like, these pretzels are making me thirsty. You had one line. Does this ever come back, the whole pretzels are making me thirsty? I feel like a character says this in a later episode. Under the same circumstances or like a scenario you described before, like a black cloud or they're in like a bad situation...
That sounds really familiar.
Yeah, I know, and I don't know why. Of all the
damn,
maybe I'm making that up, and it
drive me crazy.
It feels
now.
right, but I'm sure we'll think of it after we finish our conversation tonight.
Okay.
Someone will be like, "Who was this episode?" Come on,
morons, pinheads.
At this point, Jerry notices that Kramer brought the brown gloves with him, the very same gloves that the car thief dropped off.
Are those isotoners?
Could be.
Isotoners.
This is such a great ending, and again, there's no evidence of it being like a Larry David ending, but when those episodes or stories come full circle, Curb comes to mind when you don't see how anything is gonna, you don't see how the story is gonna be tied up or how an episode could be tied up any better, and he adds that little button, you know, that little bow to the end of it that just brings you right back to the beginning, and it's this just a great episode all in all. And we wrap up the show with a little bit of stand-up.
I think the best part of a relationship is when you're sick. And the best part of being sick is when you're in a relationship. But if I was to get married, you know, all those vows for richer or for poorer, for better or for worse, all I need is the sickness. That, to me, is the most important one. Do you take this man in sickness? That's the only time I need somebody there. That's the time, go out, have a ball, do whatever you want. But if I get the sniffles, you better be there.
Another interesting bit of stand-up, right? It kind of ties into the episode. It's weird. I don't remember any of the stand up from the episode other than the first one with the car alarm. Like
Yeah, you're right. This one doesn't really relate as much, but I do really enjoy it because it reminds me more of a Curb episode. So do you remember when Cheryl is sick?
Mm-hmm.
Larry's wife is sick, and he finds it to be a turn on that she's in bed and kind of helpless.
Yeah.
So he tries to kind of feel her up and come on to her, and she's just not having it. She's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "What?" And then at the end of this Curb episode, Larry is sick and Cheryl is well, and Larry still wants to have sex with her when he is sick. And Larry talks about how in marriage, the sickness and in health part, that's the most important part to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you can have the, for richer or poor, but I want the sickness, And that's kind of how Jerry wraps up this stand-up is, if I get the sniffles, you better be there. Which, God, it got me thinking. I wonder if Larry ever had anything to do with these stand-ups. Did he leave those solely to Jerry to write, or did he ever have any input?
That's a really good question. I wonder. Well, the only ones who will really know are Larry and Jerry themselves, but it kind of makes sense. They had such a good working relationship, writing, producing, all that. I don't think Jerry by any means would be like, whoa, you're going to give me material to do?
Doing my bits?
Yeah, or hey, maybe on the flip side, maybe Jerry did this bit and Larry liked it so much he turned it into that Curb episode, which might be more likely. But
you never know.
You never know. Should we move on to ratings?
I guess.
So, what do you think?
The episodes that I really like, I don't really have that much to say because it's just, I have nothing but positive stuff to throw out there. Not a lot of criticism.
Don't you find that we ramble when it's the ones that we have trouble getting through?
Oh yeah, you can tell. Like our listeners, everyone out there, you can tell it's an episode we had trouble with. But this episode, I love it. It's one of my favorite episodes, but I don't know if I'd rank it in like my top 20 of best episodes. Maybe it would make it like a number 19, number 18 or something. But I just love everyone's storyline this episode. I love Jerry's conversation with the car thief. Kramer's everything's off screen with Kramer, but I can imagine it.
Good point.
So much. I can imagine Kramer on set when he's telling that story with him and Woody at the bar. I can totally picture it. I can picture George downstairs running around frantically with the cars, and that's a lot of that has to do with the writing, but more than anything, it's the actors' performances that sell it at the end of the day. And yeah, just all in all, man, this is such a great episode. We got a great catchphrase. Our show likes to get a little deeper than just the catchphrases and the stuff on the surface of Seinfeld. Of course, we like to really dig deep, but these pretzels are making me thirsty might be my favorite, big line from the show. Yeah, all in all, love this episode. No complaints from me, but in the end, I'm going to give it 9 liquefied pretzels out of 10.
Oh, dynamite! That's dynamite delivery there, my friend.
Thank you. Can you liquefy a pretzel?
Pretzels don't liquefy.
You can liquefy a pretzel. All right, what do you got?
I also really enjoyed this one. My first watch with this, I had a smile on my face. I love all the storylines for all the characters, and you hit all these wonderful points. The introduction of these pretzels are making me thirsty, becoming a household phrase, was really nice.
All the kids are saying it.
So much so that, like we talked about, it's become a tattoo that you can Google, and people have it all over their bodies.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh God. I like the inclusion of Woody Allen, and I know Larry David's respect and admiration for him. I like that they kind of wrote that into a story. Kramer getting the acting bug is a really nice touch here. And you made a really great point about you don't see Kramer with any of the acting scenes, but you can absolutely visualize it off screen. Same thing with Jason. And that really gives this episode an expansiveness. It really has a greater feel than what we actually see, I like the settings. We wrapped up the show at Monk's, but then we also got the core of the episode in the apartment. We had the introduction of Sid. He was an integral part to the story. The scene at the rent-a-car, both scenes at the rent-a-car place were just gold. We didn't even really talk about Elaine and Jerry's back and forth when the woman's like, "Let me go talk to my supervisor," and they're like, "See, I'm going to say something to you so that you don't yell at me when I come back." Blah blah blah. Again, that's all stuff that you talk about with your friends when you're out in the real world, Mm-hmm. So yeah, I just really enjoyed this. So I'm gonna zip it up right here, and I'm gonna give this 9 Yankee beans out of 10.
God.
Oh, shut up.
All right, that's going to do it for us at Seincast. Vinny, let everyone know how they can get in touch with us.
You can email us at seincast@gmail.com, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Seincast, as well as pin us on Pinterest or tumble us on Tumblr.
And if you haven't already, please leave us a rating and review on iTunes. The more feedback we get, the more likely other Seinfeld fans will find out about the show. So, episode next week. Vinny, go.
We are off the wagon with the 11th episode of Season 3, The Red Dot.
Off the wagon?
I think it's off the wagon.
I think it's on the wagon. But for now, I'm Matt.
I'm Vinny.
Signing off. Seinfeld is not endorsed by Castle Rock Entertainment, Sony Pictures, or NBC, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. The official Seinfeld site can be found at sonypictures.com/TV/Seinfeld. Seinfeld, the Seinfeld logo, and all names, pictures, and audio of Seinfeld characters are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Castle Rock Entertainment or their respective trademark and copyright holders.
Yankee bean, Yankee bean. I like my Yankee bean.